Dear friends of Allwinestories around the world, we are very happy today because we host the recently elected of OIV, the National Organization Wine and Wine, Mr. John Barker. Mr. Barker, thank you very much because we have you here in Allwinestories, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
John Barker was born in New Zealand. He obtained his bachelor degree in Law and Arts in University of Auckland. Also, he has a doctoral research in law and geography entitled Different Words, Law and the Changing World Graphics of Wine in France and New Zealand. A PhD thesis in partnership with INRA NSA, Université de Bourgogne-Dijon, France, from where he will lead the organization for the next 5 years. John Barker knows organization from its course, starting as a New Zealand expert in 2005, presenting over the law at the Economic Commission, then taking the role of vice president of the commission for 2 years. After running of general position, in 2018, he continued his work as an OIV expert and as a recognized wine lover. He combined as an expert and president of the commission of his work in general manager advocacy for New Zealand wine growers. Dear Mr. Barker, thank you very much and welcome again in Allwinestories.
Thank you, Marinos.
You take on the role of Director General 2024, the International Year of Wine and Wine, and when the organization celebrates the centenary of this. Let's talk about the happy coincidence.
Yes, it's going to be a very important year in 2024 for the wine and vine sector, and a very big year as the International Year of Wine and Wine. And I think the first thing, thing that's important is to celebrate and to recognize the contribution that the wine and vine sector makes, first in terms, of course, of sociability and our enjoyment of life, but also very importantly in terms of the economic contribution, the contribution to trade and to regional development, and also to sustaining a very rich set of cultures and traditions that we all share around the world of wine. And it's also the centenary of the OIV, and there are a lot of activities planned for the centenary. We have the Congress in Dijon. There's also a ministerial Congress that's going to be held, and there'll be other activities as well. And I think the centenary is really a fantastic opportunity for us, for our organization, to look back with some satisfaction on everything that the organization has achieved over the past century, but also to look forwards to the challenges and opportunities of the next century. And one thing I think it's very important to keep in mind is that in 1924, when the OIV was founded, this was a time of particular challenge to the wine sector, and creating the OIV was an innovation, a very great and important innovation for the wine sector. And I think as we celebrate the century, we want to recapture that spirit of innovation and allow it to take us through the next century of the organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Which very important decisions were taken during the 44th World Congress of Wine and Wine in Cadiz, Jerez, Spain?
Well, of course, we had the election, and we also had the announcement of the 2024 Congress. And I think these are both important in terms of helping to set the course for the organization for the future. But at the same time, the usual works of the OIV were ongoing, and we had 18 resolutions on a wide variety of matters, everything from recommendations for dealing with Pierce's disease, which I'm sure you know is a very serious disease of the grapevine. We had the ongoing series of updates to the labeling standard, and we also we're doing a big job in the OIV of getting rid of the obsolete and out of date resolutions to make sure that the body of work of the OIV is completely modern and up to date. And at the same time, we also had a very interesting, stimulating Congress with a lot of really fantastic papers presented on a very wide range of topics.
And a lot of work and many new things we have.
Yes, many new things.
Many new things. What opportunities and challenges do you think the world of viticulture and wine will face in the coming years?
Well, first to start with the opportunities, and I'm very optimistic about the future of the wine sector. After all, this is a sector that I think recent research has shown that humans first cultivated the grapevine 11,000 years ago. So it has a very, very long history, and I'm sure that will continue strongly. And I think we can feel very optimistic about the quality of our product. I think globally the quality of wine has never been better, and we continue to learn and to improve our practices to keep improving the quality of our products. I think we have an ability to reach consumers and to understand them that's far greater than anything that we've ever had before, using the new digital technologies at our disposal. I think we're seeing, and we have been for some time, the wine world diversifying, and I think that's very exciting in terms of origins of products, in terms of the types of products that are being made, in terms of the countries that are enjoying wine and the new consumers. We're also seeing a lot of innovation across the sector, and obviously people look at the low and no alcohol products, but I think we can also look at innovations that we're making in terms of viticulture, in terms of product quality. These are all very exciting things. And I think also we see our sector as being very conscious and putting a lot of effort into the area of sustainable vitiviniculture, regenerative vitiviniculture, generally in the area of sustainability. And I think that, of course, there's always a long way to go, but I think that the wine sector is very much progressed in terms of many other sectors around the world. So that's the opportunities, but in terms of the challenges, I think, we recognize that there are a lot of challenges dealing with the aftermath of COVID, with the war in Ukraine, with supply chain difficulties, with inflation. All of these are quite sort of immediate challenges confronting the sector. But we do, and throughout my campaign for the Director General role, I've spoken to a lot of countries, a lot of governments, a lot of wine sector members, a lot of scientists, and the three things that come up very strongly: first of all, climate change, because it has so many effects on our sector, and it's will cause fundamental changes to what's grown where. And I think also the question of wine and society and health, because that is certainly gaining a lot of regulatory attention. And of course, we see a lot of focus on harmful consumption of alcohol, which of course we should be very concerned about. But we should also think about the very low level of risk that we see from moderate consumption, and all of the wider benefits of the sector in terms of culture and tradition and economic development and all of these things. The third thing I think people are thinking about a lot is the question of the digital economy and AI. And of course, it will bring us many benefits. It may also have some risks, and I think this is something everybody around the world is really struggling to understand at the moment what are the implications of these new technologies. And I think they'll be very far-reaching, and I think it's almost impossible to predict, but it's something that we need to continue to think about.
From your speech, understand you want to bring new ideas and a fresh air in OIV. And actually, I would like to ask you, which is your vision for the OIV?
Well, I think that the OIV is a very important organization for the vine and wine sector. I think it's fundamentally important that such a unique and special sector has an organization that can address matters at the international level between governments. I think that's extremely important, and the OIV's done a wonderful job up until now. And my vision is really to build upon that, to grow and to strengthen the organization. And we can do that by obviously engaging as well as we can with our members, but also with non-member countries, with other organizations and with the sector. And I think also it's important for us to use our position as an international organization to offer some strong leadership and guidance on the key challenges that face the sector at the moment, because these challenges that we face, these are global challenges. Everybody faces them to some extent, and so we should be working together to find ways, to find solutions, to provide guidance. And I think that's something that it's really important that the OIV does that.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's a very special day to host you in Allwinestories. I'm honored and proud to have you here. I wish you all the best for your new position in OIV as Director General, Manager, and thank you very much. And I hope to see you soon in Auckland, as well in France, in Paris.
Thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure and special for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you very much.